Hi everyone. Thank you so much for logging on. I'm going to start with my video on and then I'll turn it off when we've got lots of people on. Oh, lovely. Loads of people logging on. Amazing. So I hope you're all well on this Tuesday morning. Fab. Okay, there's over 100 of you on, so I'm going to get started straight away. And there will be a question and answer at the end. I'm also going to share my Instagram handle with you. So if you have any other questions at the end that you think about tomorrow or anything, then feel free just to come and find me on Instagram and ping me over some messages on there, and I'll do my best to answer all your questions on there too. Okay, so let me turn off my video so you don't have to see me. And let's get started. So hello everyone, good morning. My name is Victoria Bays and I'm here today to teach you how to use Instagram to recruit and retail for your forever business. So I'm a manager in the UK. I've been with Forever for 4.5 years and I really do love using social media, particularly Instagram, because I love the combination of being able to use captions and pictures, and particularly over the last sort of 6 to 12 months, the use of Instagram stories to really share your personality and your products and build up a great rapport with your customers. So whether you are already using Instagram or not, there is something hopefully in this training for everybody, and I will, as I said, answer any questions that you do have at the end. So let's get started. It's going to let me, hang on. There we go. So where to start? Instagram basics. Today we're going to be looking at 3 different areas of Instagram. We're going to look at your bio, your grid, and then the use of stories. Now, all 3 of these components are crucial when it comes to Instagram because they are the 3 areas that your prospects and potential customers are going to start checking out. So let's start with getting your bio right. Now, as I said, some of you might already be quite far on with using Instagram. So if you've already got all of this in place, hang on with me because I've got some top tips at the end, but I want to make sure we've got stuff in here for everybody, even if they're just getting started. So you can see here that I have a bio that uses a friendly but professional picture. I'm very clear on who I am, how I can help people. I've added some emojis to make sure that my bio is colourful and eye-catching. If you've got a brand colour, mine personally are pinks and yellows, then I've used emojis that match that. And I've created a Linktree account at the bottom to make sure that I can send people that come to my Instagram to the right places to contact me. So as you can see here, mine says Victoria, income coach, online sales coach, helping people earn an extra £200 to £2,000 plus per month. Watch my highlights, let's connect. So it's very precise, to the point, direct, and very clear, I think, to people what it is that I do. Now, I mentioned the Linktree account at the bottom. Instagram only gives you 1 link to put in, so it will say to put your website there. Now, the problem that we have with that is that obviously that's going to either direct people to a recruitment page that we've made or directly to our shop. But Linktree gives us the opportunity to put lots of different links under one. So it's super easy to do. And what I've done is I've directed people to both retail and recruitment opportunities. I've got one here that links to my online shop, one to an online joining form, one to my BP video. And it just means that whatever post or story people have seen, I can say, check the link in my bio. They'll go to the Linktree and they will tap on the appropriate one based on the reason that they've come here. So Linktrees are super, super easy to set up. It's just linktree.com, go on, really completely free, easy. You can tailor it to your brand colors as well. And it's just a really useful way of making sure that your prospects and potential customers are able to contact you through Instagram and see all of the online videos and things that you have. So that was your bio. We now want to make sure that we get our grid right. Now the grid is sort of like the homepage of your website, if you like. It can be a little bit glossier than perhaps your stories are. But what I would recommend for this is really picking a colour or a theme. So I make sure that I have little bits of, I always use bright colours because I think they're more eye-catching, but I always put little pops of pink in there so it fits in with my brand. And I'm always making sure that all of the pictures look professional, fun, and represent my personality. So to make sure you get your grid right, pick a colour or a theme. Make sure you post consistently. And I don't personally post every day. Some people do, but I find that I get more interaction daily through my stories. So I make sure that on my grid, I'm posting 2 or 3 times a week. And I pick 4 categories to post within. So for me, that's my family, my dogs, motivational posts, and then products and the business opportunity. And for me, this really helps to give a wide range of aspects of my personality, who I am, and it keeps people being attracted to my profile that are interested in the same things as me, that are maybe in the same position in their life. And that makes it easier for me to connect with them, build relationships, prospect, and recruit. So I would recommend that you do the same, pick 4 categories. It could be anything. Obviously, one of them we want to be the products and the business opportunity. But whatever it is that interests you and that you're going to be passionate about posting about, that should be one of your categories. We want to use 12 to 20 relevant hashtags. Now, these aren't necessarily relevant to you, but they're relevant to the people that you are trying to connect with. So, for example, if we're posting about the ability to work from home, hashtags like laptop lifestyle, the only other people searching those are network marketers, not the people that you are trying to bring to your account and recruit. So really think about who it is that you are wanting to reach out to and what type of hashtags they might be searching. Then make sure that you're using those on your posts. We then want to make sure that we reply and like to every single comment in order to build engagement. So whenever anybody comments on your post, even if it's just to say, great job, make sure you reply and say, thank you so much. And then you can always reach out to them and say, really interested to see how it was that you found my post. Was it through a hashtag? Was it through a location tag? So then you can immediately start building that rapport with people. You can do that the same for people liking your posts, and it's a really good way to start building interaction and engagement. Now, I know that a lot of people get a little bit nervous when it comes to the caption, because I hear people saying to me all the time, I just don't know what to write. You get your picture ready, you sort of know what you want to say, and then you panic and don't really know how to convert them, what to write. And I know that that hinders people from posting at all. So the first thing that I want to say is that it is always better to do it and be consistent, but not necessarily perfect, than to worry about being perfect and just not do it at all. So start working on your captions little by little and get better, but make sure that it doesn't hold you back from actually posting. Now, the caption does really count at the moment on Instagram based on all the analytics and everything that we're seeing. Instagram used to be a very visual platform, so it was very much about high quality images that would attract people through hashtags. And what that meant was you would get a lot of likes on a picture, but they weren't necessarily from people that you were building a relationship with and sharing bits of your personality with, because people weren't utilizing the captions. But now we're finding it's very much more about connection, and people are building audiences on Instagram based on sharing testimonials, personal experiences, and really reaching out through the caption. So make sure that you're not neglecting that. And a caption should always do one of the following things. We want to either provide value, entertain, reinforce company ethics, or sell and promote our products. So what I would recommend is when you're creating your categories for things to be posting on your grid, that you also see where you can be putting these captions in. Now, I tend to provide value by giving information about how people could use Instagram, about motivational techniques and videos that I've watched, how I organize my day working from home. My entertainment generally comes from my dogs and general things that happen with family. If you've got children, I'm sure you could share some entertaining stories about looking after your children in lockdown. I then also put information about the company out so that people know why it's important to me that I work with Forever. And then I put information out on the products. And hopefully by doing all of those things, people are coming to me because they trust me. They know I'm a real person. They see what happens in my life day to day. And therefore they trust when I put out a promotion or a sale post, they're much more likely to be converted because they've sort of done their background research on me based on my previous posts. As I said, I know a lot of people hate captions. So this is what I do when I have sort of a bit of writer's block and I don't really know what to do when I'm planning my social media. I start by thinking, how many products do I sell? And we sell loads of different products. Now, how many of those products have you tried? If you write a small paragraph in a journal about each of those products that you use every day, starting to explain why you love it, each one of those could become a caption. You can also go and ask your customers for some feedback on your products and your customer service, and every single testimonial that you get can also become a caption. So why did you start your business? Share testimonials from not only yourself, but your team, your experiences. And I do find it really useful to just keep a journal of these things because every single one eventually becomes a caption. You can also congratulate team and colleagues on their success. So whenever you see somebody else being celebrated on social media, you can change that into a story of your own, say how it's inspired you, and turn it into a caption. Also, aside from business, did something just make you laugh today? Then share it. Did you have a disastrous morning getting the kids ready? Then share it. Feeling anxious about coming out of lockdown? Share it. My most interactive post throughout the last few months has been me saying that I was anxious to come out of lockdown because of where I am in my pregnancy. And that post linked me up with so many other potential prospects and customers who are feeling exactly the same way. And I've now been able to build real relationships with these people, and it's also benefited business. Now, the other thing to put at the end of your captions is a call to action. So as I said, with your link tree, you can say, if you found this interesting, go to my link in the bio and watch my video about our business opportunity. You can also, just to make sure that you build interaction, put things like comment below and let me know if you've tried this product before. That's again a great way to get started and start interacting with those people. So if you're watching this as a recorded thing, just press pause now to create some content. Obviously, I know we're all live at the moment, so maybe come back to doing this exercise later if you want to take some notes on it. Get a calendar of the next 30 days. Look at things like Motivation Monday. If you make sure that every Monday you post either a picture of your coffee or your morning aloe or a quote that inspires you to get going, that's all of your Mondays for the next 30 days covered. Testimonial Tuesdays, we have hundreds of products we can share testimonials on. So get together talking with your team and your customers and get all of those testimonials ready. And that can do every Tuesday easily for the next month. You can share information for Wellness Wednesday, Throwback Thursday could be a personal day, Follow Friday, where you can share local businesses and information about companies that maybe you've used and were really impressed with. That's a really good way to build engagement. And at the weekend, just share some entertaining and engaging ideas. just what you're doing at your weekend, if you're going to go to the beach for the first time in a while, anything. So I think when you sit down with a calendar of the next 30 days and use this method, you can very quickly see how easy it is to create content. And my main recommendation with this would just be to not overthink it and just dive in, get things down and get it out there. As I said at the beginning, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be consistent. So now that you've got everything right with your bio and your grid and your captions, this is my favorite part of Instagram, which is Instagram stories. So the clue is in the name. This is about telling stories. Now with your grid, everything on your grid stays there forever or until you delete it. But Instagram stories only stay up on your page for 24 hours. Now I make sure that I share stories every single day. So there is always something for people to click on. And for me, I will do things like my morning skincare routine, a video of me drinking aloe in the morning. I try and make sure I show my personality on stories. And I also share relatable things that have gone wrong in my day, just to make sure that we're not being too glossy, that we're still, coming across as humans and not sort of pretending everything is perfect in our lives, that we have normal lives and this amazing business opportunity alongside it. So over the next few slides, there's just various pictures that I've shared with you from different stories that I've done. This was just sharing about the shakes. But what I will say is Instagram stories are very easy to share products on if you are genuinely using the products every single day. If you're drinking aloe every morning, you could just start by sharing that on your story. And that is then a story that is up every single day and consistently telling your audience that you are authentic in these products that you love. So for those of you that have never done a story before, this is really back to basics. Go to your Instagram homepage, click the camera icon in the top left-hand corner, and use this to take a picture or upload a picture from your camera roll. Once you've done that, along the top, you'll now have the following options. You'll have the opportunity to download, which is the little arrow. You can add a filter, which is the round face icon. You can add a link, which is the paperclip. Further options, which is the one we're going to explore on the next few slides, which is the funny little square face. The squiggle means you can draw freehand, so this is really useful for adding different colours from your brand around the outside. I always do a pink border around the outside of my stories so that people start recognising that that's one of my stories. And then you've got the option to add text as well. But what I want to look at is the further options, because this is the one that gives you the most ways of other people finding your stories and then coming to your profile. So when you click on the further options, you'll see something similar to this left-hand picture. So throughout lockdown, we had the stay home icon that we could add to stories that meant our story was then searchable in the stay home story. But you also have, which is hugely underused, the location tag. So when you click on the location tag, it will give you the opportunity to add your location to your story. So if you're living in Manchester, you can go on, you could add Manchester or even smaller, more specific areas of Manchester. Add this to your story. And that means that when anybody goes to the Manchester search, your story is going to come up within that. So this is hugely, hugely underused, but you also have the option here to mention other people. You can tag other people in your stories. You can use the GIF to add some fun little moving images. You can add the time, you can add questions, and this is going to massively help with people interacting with your stories and allowing you to engage with your audience. So make sure that you use the location tag and a hashtag on every single page of your story, because that's going to make every page of your story searchable, and it's going to make sure that you're featured then on other people's pages. These are just a couple of examples of shake posts that I did. And again, they don't have to be perfect. These aren't perfect pictures. They're not, you know, perfectly put together, but they are put together and they're out there. Now, some days I know, like I said with captions, you will just think, I have no idea what to share today. But what you can do is, oh, don't know what's happening here. I'll keep going. Instead of taking a picture, you can use the create option. So the create option along the bottom will give you all of these different templates that you can use and GIFs that you can put up. And also this one in the middle, which is the option to tag your favorite accounts that you follow within your stories. Now, the benefit of doing this is when somebody else tags you in a story, you want to share it on yours, you're excited, and it means that when you tag people in these stories, they will then be able to share it on their page. When other people in their audience see it on their page, they're going to click on you and think, you know, who's this person? And again, we're just bringing people to our page. All the options of GIFs and things that you have on here are also great for just creating content. So have a little look through the create option. So this is a story that I did that's particularly focused on recruitment, and I shared this at the beginning of lockdown. And I'm just going to read it out to you so that you can see an example of how a whole story would be put together. So it says, I feel like this quote is now more relevant than ever. And I've shared a quote about how 79 million people are going to be opening home-based businesses. I've tagged the stay home button, and on every single one of these, I've also tagged my location and hidden it behind the text, just so that it looks neat. I've been running my home-based business for 4 years, and the last month has seen sales of our key products skyrocket, which is hardly surprising because they promote a healthy immune system. We have aloe, vitamin C, kids vitamins, daily vitamins, super greens, hand soap, hand cream, and also a huge range of weight management products. Our team is one of the largest in the world, and there's no better time to get started earning an extra income. You'd get me as your mentor and a global team of trainers, coaches, and cheerleaders. I work with people who have at least 15 to 20 of the following skills. And I've then, on this story, added a box that people can contact me directly. So this is the question box that you can find. And what then happened was people would message me through this and say, oh, I've got loads of those skills. You know, how could we work together? And again, it's then getting those people to come to me so that I can start a conversation with them about the business. So I then put interested in working together. I think we've all got enough time on our hands to exchange a few messages or have a call to find out. So this was a story that it took me a little bit longer to put together. I did it mainly on Canva and then uploaded it to my stories. So I would recommend having a couple of professional stories that you use once you get more confident. And I actually uploaded this story 7 or 8 different times throughout lockdown, each time tagging a different location, so that my story was going out in different areas and I was attracting people from all over the UK. Now, I said that once you start, when you use stories, they only stay on your profile for 24 hours, but there is a way of saving a story to your highlights. Now, your highlights are these little sort of bubbles that are below your bio, and you can save stories within these. So I have a lockdown, I have one about the shakes, I have one about all the different trips I've been on with Forever Under Travel, I have how I organize my day, skincare routines, I have one on the aloe shots. And the benefit of this is that people can see my personality, and when they come to my page and think, oh, I wonder what this girl is about, they don't just have the last 24 hours on my story, they can also go through these and see all the different things that I've added and shared over time. And this just means it stays on your profile forever. And the way to save it is you go onto your stories. There's the 3 little dots in the bottom right-hand corner. Click on those and one of them will say save to highlights. You can create a highlight and save from there. So once we're using stories effectively and we've got our bio and grid right, the next thing that we need to do is to really start networking on Instagram. And the important part of this is to be visible online. You want to build relationships with your audience and followers because they have to see and trust you before they will buy from you. So using the location search, which if you go to the little magnifying glass in the bottom left corner of your homepage, you can search for your current location. So when I search my location, it comes up with all of the top posts being used by other people in the area, and also all of the most recent posts. So these might be ones that haven't been so popular, but have been shared within the last 24 hours. And I'm able to then look through different people's profiles who I then know are not only living in my area, but also effectively using Instagram already, either to promote a different brand or to, just to build an audience online. And I can then message them and say, really looking forward to following your profile. I found you via the St. Ives location tag. I can see that you're local to me. Would be great to stay connected. Or if I think that there's somebody that could already has a platform and could definitely benefit from start selling our products, I will contact them more directly and just explain where I found them and how I would like to work with them in the future and whether we could meet for a coffee ordinarily, or more recently, a phone call or a Zoom. So every single day I will reach out to 5 different accounts, start following them, start building a relationship, and I will add these people to my activity tracker. I have an activity tracker that is specifically for Instagram so that I know when I'm on the platform, they're the people that I'm working with and building relationships with. So that's almost everything. Instagram stories are an amazing way to show off your personality, your products, and your business opportunity. Consistent use can build your online relationships quickly and honestly in a fun way. Have a watch of a few stories on accounts that you follow to make sure you get some inspiration, or come and have a look at mine at VB Global, where, as I said, I'll be happy to answer any other questions that you have on Instagram. And I just want to finish on my top 5 tips for success on Instagram stories. Make sure that you post daily content. Doesn't have to be on your grid, in my opinion, but on your stories, I would recommend every single day making sure that you've posted something. Provide value and entertainment. You can add music to your stories as well through that further options tag. And this is just really fun for people and means you can create some really fun stories. Location tag every single time that you post. I can't tell you how underutilized this is. In my area, when I started location tagging, I was actually the only person, the only business coming up under our local tag, which meant whenever anybody went on and searched through our location, it was only my posts that they were seeing. So that was a huge marketing thing for me, and it may well be the same in your area. If you live in a much bigger city, then try and just find something a bit more specific about your area so that you're not reaching out to too large an audience where your posts might get lost, but make sure that you are location tagging every single time that you post. Make sure you interact with 5 new accounts every day. And this doesn't have to take you long. If you're organized about it, you can find them, drop them a message, follow them, like some posts. Only obviously interact with accounts that you have genuinely looked at and thought, this is somebody I would like to work with, or this is someone that looks like they could become a customer of mine. Don't just go on and randomly like 5 things. It takes a little bit of research to make sure you're prospecting the right people. And finally, just make sure that you have fun, because this is a platform where you really can show your personality. And the accounts that I follow that I look forward to watching every single day are the people that are very honest with their and their content. Just check the I will just check the chat box to make sure that I can answer any questions. Okie doke. So let me just come on video to make sure that I answer these for you. So yeah, you can link your Instagram stories to your Facebook stories. I do that so that they share directly onto there. If you share testimonials from customers, should you only share positive responses or other feedback too? You want to make sure that you're sharing positive things, because that's going to attract the other people that are excited about having the positive results. I would say that you can ask people for different customer service testimonials as well, so it doesn't necessarily have to be about the products. I don't have the paperclip symbol. So the link symbol is one that, firstly, just try updating your Instagram on the App Store. The paperclip will allow you to share direct links if you have over 10,000 followers. If you have under 10,000 followers, it will allow you to link to your Instagram TV. So there's a few options within links. It's not something, if you're just getting started, that I would be worried about. I would make sure that you get really, really good at the other stuff before you start worrying about links. I can't add music at all. This is a constant nightmare for so many people. Instagram just haven't rolled it out to every single person. They are gradually rolling it out to all accounts. There's been some confusion over whether some different phones have it over others. In my opinion, it just seems completely random. Try deleting and refreshing the app. You might find that you get it then, but it is just something, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait for if you can't have music. How do you create a bubble to archive stories? So this is to create your highlights. Once you've made a story, go on, you'll find the 3 little dots at the bottom, which will give you the option to download the story or share the story or add to highlights. Add it to highlights, and you can then go into that highlight and add a different sort of cover picture for that highlight, just to make them look nice and tidy. Can you share activity tracker? It's just the forever one from, my files are over there, just the forever one from First Steps to Manager. I just have Instagram at the top of a section about 5 pages. And it just means that I'm not, when I'm contacting people that I've been speaking to on the phone, I have them in a separate activity tracker to when I've got my Instagram one. I know that I can work through them. It just keeps it clear in my head, but it's just the First Steps to Manager activity tracker. Should you use a separate business account? Up to you. I use my personal account because I think it is important. It's my personal account, but I've switched it sometimes between personal and business. And if I'm honest, I haven't seen any increase either way in my outreach to people. I think if you've got a personal account, it's absolutely fine as long as you're happy to share things on there. I think having a personal account helps you to build your personal brand, whereas if you have a business account, I think it can look a little bit too generic and you're wanting to attract people to aspects of your personality. So other people might say different, but my preference would be to stick to personal. How do you set your account to open rather than private? In settings, from your homepage, 3 little lines at the top, go up there, privacy settings, and set it not to private. So when you are doing location search and start commenting or liking, when do you actually start following? As I seem to follow a lot more people than following me. So it's a huge misconception on Instagram or any social media that your amount of followers is relevant, really. So you could have hundreds of thousands of followers that you got from a completely different business. But when you're selling your products, those people aren't going to be interested. So it's better for you to have a smaller following who are the right people to follow you. If you've got only 20 followers, but every single one of those is interested in your product, you're going to be converting at a far higher rate than somebody who has 15,000 followers and nobody really interested. So don't worry about follower count. When do I start following them? I start following them when I think they're somebody that, might be of interest to me. Even if they're not then interested in the business, the people I tend to have followed are people that are sharing inspirational content or that I connected with on a different level anyway. I don't look at my ratio of who I follow to who follows me, and I wouldn't recommend doing that because it's not going to help you with conversion statistics. I post on both business and personal accounts. I think it's too much. I would agree. I think what you want to do is, we don't want to be I love social media, but I don't want to be spending too much time on social media. I want to make sure that the activity that I'm doing is precise and accurate and generating results. And yeah, if you've got 2 different accounts, you might just be finding splitting your time is too much. So maybe try and combine them. On your recruitment post, did you do the double pics with yellow, pink? Yes, I did it on Canva. Canva is really useful. I only use free things. I don't pay for anything, but Canva is a really useful one to just do those more professional stories. I missed the last tip of the top 5. Have fun, I think it was. Share your personality. I thought we were no longer allowed to share testimonials as it may look like a claim. So obviously anything that doesn't, that is non-compliant, we can't share. But I'm quite generic in my testimonials, in that a lot of people, when you ask for a testimonial, they're not going to give you huge details. I don't do before and after pics or anything like that would be claiming. I generally do it more on my service. So there was one I think I shared this morning or yesterday that was just from a customer saying she'd been really struggling to find the right moisturizer. She'd had a chat with me, we'd had a chat, and now she really loves the moisturizer. So there wasn't any claim within there. She was just sharing her experience. And a lot of the time, I think that's all really people want to hear. I've never paid for ads on Instagram, all free, generating leads for free. So don't worry about doing that. Lots of thank yous, which is great. Do you add locations all over the country or only around your area? Generally, just in my area, so most regularly just in my area. But for example, when the Global Rally was announced, this is a while ago as being in Australia, I then did a recruitment post and tagged it in Sydney, Australia, and then generated leads from that. So you can use it quite cleverly in terms of that if it's relevant to what you're putting out. Hazel says she's been getting consistent. I know she has because I follow her and her posts are beautiful. Yes, it's been recorded. Anyone worried about that? Can I recommend any apps to help prepare stories? I just use the majority of the time I just do it straight through Instagram. I'm not worried about them looking pretty or professional. I just want to make sure that I'm sharing consistent, fun, personality-based content. But if I do a more professional one, I use Canva. Yes, you can link your Instagram to your Facebook page. There's still so many of these. I'm going to have to go in a second. So do come and ask me over on Instagram and I will. How long after liking or commenting do you move into actually prospect? Fairly quickly, because I don't want to be wasting my time just liking and commenting on random people's posts. But that's not to say to be spammy. I I spend more time prospecting and looking at if this is somebody I genuinely would like to work with, and I will then reach out to them. But if they aren't interested, it's still somebody that I'm interested in following because they're going to be sharing content that drew me to their page in the first place. So I continue to follow them and then interact with them after that, but I will set my intentions clear fairly quickly from the beginning. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more and then I'm going to close. I think these are just all saying thank you. Would I tag the customer if I was sharing a social media? Yes. Sometimes I will say to my customers, thank you so much for the testimonial. Could you share this on your social media? Could you tag it in your stories? If I know there's someone that's savvy with that kind of thing, and I can then share that to my page. So definitely do try and yeah, interact with other people and with your customers as much as possible. I think that is most of them. If I've missed any, I'm really sorry. Do come and ask me directly. Do I follow others from FLP? I do. I don't follow lots of people, but I do follow some people. I follow my team to make sure I can interact with them, colleagues that I get inspiration from. I follow them as well. So I would say don't follow too many people because you want the algorithm to know that you want to bring in people outside of that. So try and interact more on people's posts. But I do follow FLP people, yeah. Okay, fab. Thank you so much, guys. I really hope it's been useful, and I will speak to some of you over on Instagram if you want to come and have a chat. Thanks so much for logging in. Have a lovely rest of the week, and I look forward to seeing lots of you using Instagram stories more for your business. Bye.